So this is my chapter in this book. It's a quick little thing. I just wanted to do a little recording and read it. And the chapter is called The Gap, a Potential Junkie, and a Mission for Someone. No cash, no safety net, no idea what is next. Exactly where I both love and hate to be. Have you been here before? I know I have. As a self-diagnosed serial philanthropreneur, aka someone who says yes to everything and everyone who is doing great work in and for the world, what I have learned throughout every one of my adventures is that there is this wicked pattern that plays out. A pattern that starts with a single word. Yes. Have you fallen victim to the yes spiral before? This feeling that no matter how much you achieve, it seems to always lead you right back home, not unlike the yellow brick road. No matter how much we do, no matter how much we hustle, no matter how many long hours we work, network, hire, delegate, team up, or earn, it never seems to be enough. The gap is always there, and it always seems to lead us right back to the start, like some kind of human-sized game of snakes and ladders. Yet, for whatever reason, relaxing, quitting, stepping back, or stepping down seems to just be absolutely unfathomable. The gap. The space between fantasy and reality. Between potential and actualization. The gap that seems to only get filled by saying yes. As if by some miracle, the void will be fulfilled by this next adventure or risk. In truth, it does, if only for a fleeting moment we sometimes call happiness. Meh, perhaps it's just me, but somehow in all my journeys I have been beyond grateful to have experienced. I end up broke, scared, and confused, and yet definitely wiser. That's because the pursuit of wisdom is like a drug. We can chase and chase and chase and find ourselves striving to be better than the person we were yesterday. And we recognize that these adages taunt us with their mysteriously vague truths. The more you know, the more you don't know. Damn it, Aristotle, how are you so wise? You see, the only metric that should ever matter is not measured in dollars and cents, but more so in lives changed. And well, this is why I personally say yes. The chance at changing a life, let alone the world, is too great to ignore, because indeed, as James Bond might understand, the world is not enough. Being a serial yes man is no different than being a compulsive gambler. It means you will keep betting on the next horse in the next race and never really go home with the winnings because, well, what's at home waiting for me anyways? So you become a potential junkie. The potential of winning or being right is ever bigger than the consequences of being back at go on the Monopoly board. The rush of saying, I'm all in, seems to always outweigh the consequences, and the slide of the chips to the middle of the proverbial table is electric. In the end, every bet placed and dollar earned and lost washes away with the sands of time, but it is the stories that remain near and dear. Stories are the lifeblood of a potential junkie. They inspire an ever-growing wave of legacy. Isn't all of history only but a memory or just recorded as a story? In fact, to be remembered in history is to remember his story. The legacy is building an empire. It calls to all, but is a journey only carried out by the bold. And the bold are those whom we remember. Those who dared to be outstanding by recognizing they needed to stand out to achieve such. As Rome is built, we all marvel at its magnificence and magnitude. But as Rome is burning, we are reminded of our impermanence. It is the impermanence of this now and of the beauty of anything that makes it worth experiencing. Such is the life path of an entrepreneurial mind. The type of person who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. The type of person who plays superhero only to be a martyr for the cause. The type of person who would have said yes to a worthy mission no matter what the consequences. The type of person who loves and hates to be right back at square one. That's the person I am, or at least the person I strive to be. That's the person our world needs more of. Someone to take on the world's biggest challenges. Someone who dares dream the impossible to be possible. Someone who, when asked why, replies, simply because we can. Someone who says yes. Are you someone? For those of you who want to get a copy of this book, there is a link in the description. It's called the Better Business Book. I am one of 100 authors. My good friend Tyler Wagner, this is the third edition of this book. It's an Amazon bestseller, really awesome. I contributed a chapter that I feel isn't fully, business or whatever, but it speaks to the mindset of a business person. It definitely speaks to the psyche that I have, and I'm sure many entrepreneurs have as well. So if you want a copy, pick it up. It's awesome. Use your points or whatever. Use your dollars. Buy a book. You should be reading more. Come on, make it happen.